From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night, this is exciting Imperial Valley football on VSNsports.net, the Valley Sports Network, and the source for Imperial Valley sports. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cal Jones Field as we welcome the Calexico Bulldogs as the visiting team and the hosting Vincent Memorial Scots in the battle for the border. And now we welcome the voice of choice, the real deal, the master blaster, your friend and mine, Johnny Mo, John Moreno Brown.
Hey, Vic, it's good to have you back. You've been out of the broadcast for 3 weeks, and we want to thank Butch Morales for filling in for you. But now this is the season finale, the Calexico Bulldogs, the Vincent Memorial Scots, here at Cal Jones Field for the 2022 season, and we'll see what the outcome is tonight. One team runs the ball, one team throws the ball, but I'm looking for an exciting game nonetheless.
Well, John, you know, a quarterback that balanced the run with a pass was Butch Morales. And Butch, thanks a lot for filling in. You did a lot better than I would ever do. And man, if we need a third microphone in the booth, you're more than welcome to take it on. Well, John, you're right. Let's talk about Jacobo Elias, the do-everything quarterback for the Vincent Memorial Scots. He comes in with over 2,400 yards passing, 23 touchdowns to his credit. He utilizes all 5 receivers as he's usually in an empty backfield, and a passing play is as good as a running play as they try to get the ball to the skilled players as quickly as possible. On the Bulldog side of the ball, they run the wing T with from a spread formation. They like to utilize the running talents of Zeus Pradis. You like him, number 30, and he has over 1,000 yards rushing as we honor the flag of the United States of America with a national anthem.
Thank you, and welcome to the battle for the border. For tonight's game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. We're about to kick off in a couple of minutes, and let's talk about the season. Let's talk about some of the common opponents that Vincent and Calexico have played.
Well, John, Calexico started off red hot in the month of September, going 5-0 before they started Imperial Valley League play, and then they lost to Imperial, they lost to Centro, they lost to Brawley, and their only victory was against Southwest. Whereas the Vincent Memorial Scots come into tonight's game 6-2. They had a game rained out against Castle Park, a non-league game at Southwest High School due to that storm, and so they come in raring to go. As we said, they like to pass the ball. Calexico likes to run the ball. It's going to be an exciting game. Let's talk about last year's finish in the closing seconds of the ball game. Whoever had the ball last, as you said, was going to win the game. And Vincent almost made that prophecy come true as with 8 seconds remaining, number 8, Jacobo Elias, scrambling, it seemed like forever, using all sides of the field, throwing a 40-yard dart to Andre Rodriguez at the 1-yard line, but miraculously he was pushed out at the half-yard line, and Calexico squeaked out a narrow victory.
That has to have been one of the most exciting games that we've called in our 28 seasons of bringing you live football, for the most part of Calexico. But last year, Vincent came in and they were determined. It was back and forth the whole game. This game, we're looking at probably something similar, but Calexico you've had some injuries in the quarterback position. That could be a factor for Calexico to set the tone and their momentum. Last week against the Brawley Wildcats, they couldn't get it on gear because they were jumping off sides. They were illegal formations or illegal shifts or just false starts. The Bulldogs need to make sure that they cut down on their penalties, and they need to contain Jacobo Elias.
Well, John, you're right about that, and the way the Bulldogs played last week with those offsides penalties late in the season, that's not common, and this was a well-oiled machine going through August and September. Now, you can't fault the Bulldogs, though. They've gone through 4 quarterbacks. First, the talented David Esquer, that returning senior starter, out early in the season with a leg injury, a torn ACL. Then sophomore Sean Torres filled in ably and capably as he led the Bulldogs to several victories, but he got injured as well. Then Julian Silva came in. He left with an arm injury, and then they brought up a JV quarterback, Robbie Montejano, who came in like a gunslinger in the last quarter against Brawley last week, throwing the ball with authority and with confidence. But Calexico scored their only touchdown on a TD run by Zeus Prades, who comes in with 1,028 yards rushing on the season here. But on the flip side, Jacobo Elias, the star quarterback last year as a sophomore. He comes back as a junior. He picked up where he left off. He's got a great group of receivers in Armando Apodaca, Andre Rodriguez, along with Diego Cisneros and Ricardo Malo. So we're going to be calling their names out a lot tonight, John. You better be on your toes, your best behavior, and clear that throat, John, because the fans are ready to hear the voice of choice, the real deal, Johnny Mo, John Moreno Brown.
Well, Vic, thank you. Mucha crema los tacos, but we're just about to get ready to start. Luis Martinez will be kicking off for the Bulldogs, and back to receive, standing inside their
Andre Rodriguez
and Armando Apodaca.
Well, John, you don't know how many times I was saying that while I was in solitary confinement in my bedroom because of COVID. But it's good to be out here in the open air. We're outside the press box here at Central. We'd like to thank the Central High School administration for providing the field to Vincent Memorial. This is a home game for Vincent. Next year we'll be back at Willis Ward Field, as it'll be Calexico's turn to host, in case any of you were wondering.
A pooch kick. And it'll be picked up by Armando Apodaca, who fumbles it, muffs it, and does he get back on it?
Well, all of that transpired in 4 seconds, John, as 4 seconds ran off the clock on that pooch kick. But the Vincent Memorial Scots will be starting out inside their own 20. Now, offenses like to plan 4 or 5 plays from the goal line to the 20, another 4 or 5 plays from the 20 to the 50-yard line, etc., all the way into the red zone. But you throw that out with Vincent Memorial, because with no huddle offense, they run the spread. They have 9 plays, John, numbers 1 through 9, and the quarterback, when he comes out, he looks at the defense and he'll say number 3, and all the receivers know what they're going to be doing. The linemen know their blocking schemes, and let's see, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be entertained tonight.
1st and 10 from the 18. Elias fakes it, keeps, and is brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And looks like number 53 was in on the stop for
That's Ibarra, Thomas Ibarra, for the Calexico Bulldogs, as you had Troy Marin playing, shadowing the quarterback. They call it the quarterback spy. So he watches the quarterback wherever he goes, and he shadows or mirrors him and stays with him. Calexico's key to their defense, John, is to keep Elias in between the tackles, not let him get to the outside.
2nd and 10. Quick pass to Andre Rodriguez, and he'll pick up 8-9 yards, pretty close to a first down.
Pushed out of bounds by number 12, Pedro Rioseco, as the Vincent Memorial Scots go with number 8, Jacobo Elias at quarterback. He's joined by Armando Apodaca, number 33, Diego Cisneros, an outstanding receiver, number 6, Ricardo Malo, back from an injury, number 11, Andre Rodriguez, that stellar wideout, and Roberto Carranza.
Handoff.
31.
Lucio Ascolani, and that was a first down pickup by Andre Rodriguez, so they moving the chains up into the 29-yard line, and Ascolani met at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Ascolani, only a sophomore, 5'8", 155 pounds. And that's what's impressed me about Vincent Memorial, John. Not only do they have 12 to 15 seniors, but they have about 12 sophomores, and they're all getting significant playing time coming up for their JV. Of 140 boys enrolled at Vincent Memorial High School, as an all-girls school until 1977, they have 80 boys out for their football program. Amazing.
That's probably most of the boys that they have on campus.
We'll give you the defensive starters after this play.
Second and about 7. Elias with 3 receivers to the right. Looking in that direction. And almost caught there by number 6. That is Diego Cisneros.
Diego Cisneros, 6 foot, 178 pounder, was shadowed by number 7 for Calexico, and that was Jose Lara, the cornerback. Calexico's plans for defensively, John, are to play man-to-man on their skilled players, and everybody else on the interior line, like Diego Gurola, Luis Alcalá, and Thomas Ibarra, have to really take care of the line. Defensive end, Carlos Hernandez, Pedro Rioseco, and Troy Marin will handle the mesh route.
3rd and 8. Little swing pass there to Apodaca.
Quick pass to number 31.
Oh, 31, that's Ascolani.
Ascolani brought down immediately by number 17 of Calexico, and that is Esteban Esquer.
Results in a 4th down, 4th and 8.
So the punting unit for the Scots is coming out with 9:56 and counting first quarter.
And typically your punter is number 8, but tonight they're going with number 15, Jose Guevara.
And back to receive is Frankie Loera Rodriguez for Calexico.
Don't forget a sus órdenes.
Sus órdenes. So he's standing inside the 30. It's a low punt. Rodriguez will hesitate and picks it up and gets hit hard and brought down at the 30.
Excellent gang tackling on that punt coverage by Vincent Memorial, as number 35 for Vincent Memorial in to make that initial hit, and that was Juan Pablo Postlowaite, a 5'10", 165-pound senior. So now the Bulldogs will be taking over for their first offensive series. They'll be led by sophomore quarterback, a left-hander, Sean Torres. He'll be joined by Zeus Prades in the backfield. The other skilled players are Leo Canchola, Andrew Rivera, Jesse Hernandez, and Benji Rodriguez. Take it away, John.
So 1st and 10 at the 33 with Sean Torres, Zeus Prades with a handoff. He's pumping his legs up there, gets about 6. Take it to the 39.
Vincent defensively goes with number 2, Eugenio Elordi, number 4, Miguel Ruiz, number 7, Max Ascolani, number 9, Pablo Zavala, number 12, Esteban Turner, 13, Andre Rodriguez, number 23, a standout linebacker, only a sophomore, Juan Carlos Sáenz, along with number 27, Diego Silva, Lucio Ascolani, Marco Tejeda, Emilio Fimbres, and Manuel Montaño.
2nd and 4 from the 39. Andres Ramirez will take the handoff, a jet sweep to the 50, a 1st and 10, a pickup of 11 yards, move those chains.
And making initial contact was Omar Vera, number 29, 160 pounds, as he tripped up the fleet, Andres Ramirez.
But it'll nullify it on a holding penalty against Calexico. So 8:41 remaining, first quarter, no score. They're going to put it back to the 31-yard line and make it a 3rd and 13.
You know, while they're coming out, John, we'd like to give a shout out to Batesville, Arkansas. Truman Kenneth James, Kenny, I hope you're enjoying the game, and Chris De La Rosa, who usually puts an immaculate impression on Ward Field.
Prades on the sweep to the right. And he'll take it to the 40, a pickup of 8.
You know, there was a comment as we were walking up the bleachers that some of the grandparents and parents of the Vincent players thought that Calexico looked pretty big. But Vincent counters with a lot of football IQ, John. A lot of these players have been playing since they were 5 or 6 years old in the Pop Warner system in Mexicali, the Halcones, and it's evident here as they very good technique. Their defense will bend, but it won't break.
3rd and 4 from the 40. Sean Torres. Pradis coming this way. Now he turns it up the field. Gets a first down and more at the 40, the 35, the 30, the 20, and pushed out of bounds inside the 5.
That was number 12, defensive back Esteban Turner, only a junior, racing from the far side of the field, cutting, and it had an angle on Pradis, but not until Pradis was able to advance the ball inside the 35-yard line of Calexico, all the way down inside the red zone, inside the 10-yard line. It'll be a 1st and goal for the Bulldogs.
Sean Torres with a keeper. Going to the right side. Not quite there yet.
Well, John, what would you used to say? You got to dance with who brung you. Give the ball to Pradis and get out of the way.
Exactly. And so they're actually on the 6-yard line on a 2nd and goal coming up. So Calexico, on an excellent run by Zeus Pradis, takes him very close to the Vincent Memorial.
Well, let's talk about that offensive line that's opening up the running lanes for Calexico. Left to right, they go with Gael Monzon, number 77, Nicolas Leon, number 54 at guard. The center is Mario Arredondo. The right side is Jared Ramos, 51, and Josmar Alvarado, number 75.
And number 26, that's
No, it's number 5, Sean Torres.
Oh, he faked it, touchdown. I thought he handed it off. He faked me. So Calexico.
Everybody, not you, John. I know you were just setting up the audience.
Wow, that was a very good fake by Sean Torres, taking it in from 5 yards out. Touchdown, Calexico.
Well, let's break down that play, John. What made that play possible was the hard running and elusive style of Zeus Pradis. You have Martinez getting ready for the point after attempt. So the Vincent defense keyed on Pradis, and that ever-present ball handler, Sean Torres, like Rex Kern of the Ohio State Buckeyes in the 1968 Rose Bowl, John, pulled it out and scampered into the end zone.
And the extra point is good. And so, with 6:55 remaining in first quarter, we'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to
Go
purchase
back, ladies
or
and gentlemen.
sell,
The Bulldogs are going
your
to
next home awaits.
kick off to the Vincent Memorial Scots on that 6-yard TD keeper by Sean Torres just a minute ago. And back to receive, we've got Armando Apodaca and Andre Rodriguez, and they're awaiting the Luis Martinez kickoff. And he'll go pretty deep this time. Armando Apodaca inside the 10, coming straight up, finds a hole, and then it gets brought down at the 39. And in on the stop, number 50, is at 55 for Calexico. Jose Zavala. So 6:49 to go, first quarter. Bulldogs up 7-0. And the Scots with the ball. And Jacobo Elias looking to find some receivers in this upcoming series. Elias over the middle. And Pass is caught, read well by Troy Marin, but the pass to number 2 is Eugenio Elordi. Marin was right there. A pickup of 2 yards.
Elordi, number 2, a sophomore, is also the backup quarterback. He's a left-hander as well as Elias, now getting into rhythm.
Scrambling, evades one tackler, shoots it right over the middle, pass is caught, and that is number 8.
Oh, Elias is number 8.
No, I'm sorry, number 9. I can't see his jerseys all.
That's Roberto Nelson.
Okay.
Roberto Nelson came into the game with jerseys number 11 and 30 assigned to him, but now he's wearing number 9.
Number 9, okay. So 1st and 10, ball at the 46 going in.
You've got Andre Rodriguez in motion. Empty
Elias
backfield.
Going to the left side. A receiver is there.
Apodaca.
The pass is caught. Armando Apodaca will take it to the 15-yard line, and a 1st and 10 for the Scots, just like that.
Well, John, they use the KISS method. They keep it short and simple. Apodaca goes deep. Cisneros and Malo run intermediate routes. And then you have Andre Rodriguez running 5-and-outs, or mesh routes as they call it, where he just runs along the line of scrimmage as a safety valve. And Elias just checks down. He looks deep to see if he's open. He'll throw it. If he's not, he looks intermediate, or then he looks to the short pass.
Elias faking the dive, scrambling, evades one tackler, and this time he's sacked.
Well, he was forced out of the pocket there by the hard charging Thomas Ibarra, number 53. Thomas looks like he was shaken up on the play. I don't know if it's a cramp, a leg cramp, or just out of breath. But
And
anyway.
there's a penalty flag on the field.
Is that against Calexico or against?
Illegal block against Vincent. So they'll nullify anything there.
And that sometimes is a drawback when you have a scrambling quarterback like with the ability of Jacobo Elias, because the offensive linemen are trying to hold their blocks for 1 to 2 seconds, and if he takes off running as he's flushed out of the pocket, many times their forward blocks turn into blocking in the back as they try to keep up with the ever speedy and effusive Jacobo Elias.
Looks like 1st and 25. Elias coming to the right side. And did he catch it? Is that Andrew Rivera?
Andrew Rivera, did it hit the ground? The referees say that it made contact with the ground. And speaking of the referees tonight, the head referee wearing the white hat is Gene Martin, the son of the late Alvin Lefty Martin. The umpire is John Robb. Head linesman is Randy Ross. The line judge is Hector Tarango. And the back judge is your and my favorite, Sal Boxer Carrillo.
Good old Sal's out there. 4.5 remaining in the first quarter. And a 3rd and 25 for the Scots at the Bulldog 29. They've got to get to the 5-yard line for a first down.
We have an official timeout.
Probably checking some equipment down there.
Well, Vincent comes out with a spread backfield. His split out here to the near side is number 6. Diego Cisneros comes into the game with 17 pass receptions to his credit. The leader is Armando Apodaca, who caught that deep pass that put Vincent deep into Bulldog territory, but then later a penalty moved it back from the 15-yard line, 14-yard line back to the 27-yard line, 28-yard line of Calexico. So Vincent in their blue and gold uniforms a la Notre Dame, Calexico in all white with garnet trim.
Mississippi State. 2nd and 25. Screen pass. Andre Rodriguez drops a ball. He hung on it for a while. So Calexico will take over on that fumble.
And making that recovery was Thomas Ibarra, but making that hit was number 10, Troy Marin, who were fortunate enough yesterday to have him on the podcast, not only with Que Pasa Calexico, but with Valley Sports Network and head coach Fernando Solano.
And another game is going on tonight, the Bell game, the 79th Bell game, and it's being brought to you by VSN with Will Torres and Ron Rubio.
You're kidding, John. I thought this was the game, the battle for the border.
And this is, they're tied at 0. It's a scoreless first quarter.
Well, Calexico takes over on offense. The ball at the 30-yard line of Calexico. They're going right to left on your TV screen, ladies and gentlemen. And the Vincent Memorial Scots are defending the western goal.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Driscoll's, who's been serving the Imperial Valley since 1979. They take great pride in the years of experience and quality of custom silk screen and embroidery services. Make sure you stop by and check out their huge selection of sunglasses, sandals, and street clothes located at State and Imperial in El Centro. And for the best burgers in town, it's Burgers and Beer in El Centro, open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Come watch the VSN Game of the Week at Burgers and Beer. By Imperial Valley College, founded in 1962. Proud sponsor of VSN's live stream for all Imperial Valley High School sports. IVC, fostering excellence in education for 60 years. And by RDO Equipment. Whether you're a seasoned pro in precision ag or just getting started, RDO Equipment is what you need for success in your field. By Esqued Realty, your hometown real estate office in Calexico for the serving the entire Imperial Valley for 30 years. Go see Mark Esqued at Esqued Realty at 357-9707. Esqued Realty, the mark of excellence. And we'll be back, and we're back now with 4:22 remaining first quarter. The Bulldogs have the ball. They're inside their 30 at the 30-yard line, going left to right. 1st and 10.
Sean Torres at quarterback. He's joined in the backfield with number 30, Zeus Prades. You have Rivera, Hernandez, Rodriguez, and Canchola at the skill spots. Canchola in motion.
They're going to give it to Prades. And Prades couldn't get very far, maybe a yard.
An outstanding tackle by number 23, Juan Carlos Sáenz. They're making the stop as Prades had nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. If you were to bring out Martha and the Vandellas, John, we haven't heard her in quite some time.
So a 2nd and 9. 3:56 remaining first quarter.
Calexico coached by Fernando Solano. He's got a great staff of assistant coaches. Mario Navarro, Romero, and Riberto Peralta will give you the rest after this play.
And Sean Torres looking at going to the air. A man is open, not quite there, to Marco Esquer, running a seam route toward the outside, so it'll go incomplete.
Running a seam route to the outside, guarded by number 5, Alvaro Perea, a 6 foot, 150-pound, 5-pound freshman, and he was wide open. He had about 4 or 5 yards on him, but the ball was underthrown by 4 or 5 yards. So it'll be a 3rd and 9 for Calexico. The ball at their own 31-yard line.
3:34 and counting. Sean Torres hands it off to Canchola to the right side. Finds a lot of room. Crossing midfield, but goes out of bounds inside the, right at the 48.
Running behind the blocking of number 75, Josmar Alvarado, and pulling guard Jared Ramos, number 51, along with center Mario Arredondo. Canchola was able to get to the outside beyond the outstretched arms of Pablo Zavala and Marco Tejeda, and then he put on the afterburners, John, and was able to cross midfield and take the ball to the 48-yard line of Vincent Memorial.
1st and 10. Prades with the handoff, lowering his shoulder, but not much there, Vic. He'll get a yard.
A horde of Vincent Memorial tacklers there, led by Manuel Montaño, Emilio Fimbres, and Marco Tejada, along with linebacker Lucio Escaulani and Juan Carlos Sáenz. So a short gain. There it'll be a 2nd and 9 for the Calexico Bulldogs, clad in all white uniforms with garnet trim, John. Beautiful color combination.
Yeah, they modeled their uniforms after Mississippi State. And Mariano Velez did an outstanding job of selecting him. Jesus Prades turns the corner and gets a first down inside the 40 at the 38.
Knocked out of bounds by number 29, Omar Vera, 5'9", 160 pounds, as Prades stiff-armed number 31 of the Scots, that being Lucio Ascolani, to get to the outside and get some running room, but he picks up a first down, adding to his total. He came into the game with 1,028 yards to his credit, And this running attack of the wing T will produce a 1,000-yard runner. Whereas Palo Verde, the Yellow Jackets, they have 3 runners that have more than 1,400 yards apiece as they run the double wing.
4,000 for career yards for Macon. Marcus Macon. Pass is incomplete. 2:37 to go, first quarter.
John, if I can make a suggestion, I would have Torres throwing little short passes just to get his confidence and get some continuity instead of trying to go for all the marbles and throwing deep, because his accuracy is off. He's missing his targets by not a step or two, but he's way off. So let him get into a rhythm by throwing little short passes, or swing passes coming out of the backfield.
I agree.
He was 0 for 10 or 0 for 11 last week against Brawley.
Canchola with a sweep to the right. Turns it up. Finds a lot of room, gets a first down, lowers his shoulder, and gets a first down. They're going to take it to, looks like the 23-yard line.
That was number 23, Juan Carlos Science, that took the brunt of that hit. But great lateral movement by Science to get over to that side of the ball. And Canchola with a jet sweep down. Once he turned the corner, he put on those afterburners. And back in the day, they used to say, Katie bar the door.
Katie bar the door. Now you're taking me back to the 50s, right, Vic?
40s, 50s, 60s.
It goes even further. Pradis finds room and takes it.
Stop by number 1.
And that was
about the 16-yard line.
Number 1, Andre Estrella, 5'9", 155 pounds, making that tackle on the 6-foot, 185-pound Zeus Pradis. So the Bulldogs on the move, 1:36 remaining here in the first quarter. Calexico 7, Vincent Memorial 0 if you just joined us.
2nd and 4 for Calexico at the 16, going in. Sean Torres. Zeus Pradis gets a first down and more. Will take it to the 10, a pickup of 7 yards.
Number 12, defensive back, Esteban Turner with a tackle. Turner coming in at 6'1", 165 pounds, but Pradis just bowled his way through the defensive line, and the secondary is having to make a lot of tackles for the Vincent Memorial Scots. Not a good sign.
Under a minute to go in this first quarter.
So if you're looking at the battle of the trenches, John, who's winning the line of scrimmage? Right now, the advantage goes to Calexico with 52 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 Bulldogs.
Play action over the middle to number 4, Marco Esquer. Is that touchdown? Calexico. Marco Esquer with a quick pass from the 16-yard line. Puts another 6 points on the board for Calexico.
And John, that's how you and Jose Alejos diagrammed it up here in the press box. That little slant-in pattern for Marco Esquer and Sean Torres coming out of his shell, right on target, hitting him in the numbers. A beautiful pass. Great play calling by the offensive coordinator for Calexico. And we get set for the Martinez point after attempt.
And he splits the uprights. And we'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the Bulldogs taking control of the first quarter with a 14-0 lead. Now await the kickoff of Martinez. Back to receive Apodaca and Andre Rodriguez as they run in reverse. They give it to number 9, and that's Rodolfo Nelson. And Calexico wasn't surprised as number 22 for the Bulldogs, David Rivera, a senior, there to make the stop. So with 33 seconds, John, the Scots will take over here on their third offensive series. The ball inside the 25-yard line, right at the 26.
You weren't kidding about being cooped up. You took the whole play-by-play away from me right now.
John, you'll always be the voice of choice.
So I'm not going to interrupt Vic. He's doing a good job.
In our minds and in our hearts.
33 seconds. Spreading out the offense, the Vincent Memorial Scots. Elias out of the shotgun.
As they would say at family gatherings, take it away, Carmelito.
Orale. At the 25. Looking this way, another.
That was Diego Cisneros, number 6.
Another pass caught there, coming in on a slant. And moving the change for a 1st and 10 for the Vincent Memorial Scots.
And the Bulldog defensive secondary is playing man-to-man defense. The Vincent offense is going to nickel and dime them with short passing routes, and then they'll come with a down and out and up and go deep to Apodaca.
So 1st and 10 inside the 40. Quick pass to Apodaca going to the left.
Reverses his
field and is brought down at the 44.
So taking those ballet classes at the casino, John, paid off on that move right there.
And that's the end of the first quarter. And we'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
Day in and day out, your publicly owned Imperial Irrigation District proudly delivers low-cost, reliable energy service to its customers in the Imperial and Coachella Valleys. When compared to other power providers, IID's residential, commercial, and governmental customers all save up to 50% on their monthly energy bills. That's because IID is committed to more than just delivering power. IID is committed to you. IID, where customers always come first.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now starting the second quarter play, we're switching sides. The Vincent Memorial Scots are guarding the eastern goal, headed west.
Well, John, I should have brought a couple of Vincent Memorial yearbooks from the 80s and 90s, as a lot of the former students coming up to say hello to us. And it's senior night for the Vincent Memorial Scots, a big event for them as we get set to start the second quarter.
A 2nd and 4. The ball at the 44. Elias, shotgun snap over the middle. Apodaca, the intended receiver, must have heard footsteps there by number 8. That's Ishmael Burgess.
So defensively for the Calexico Bulldogs, they go with Troy Marin, number 10, Pedro Rioseco, number 12, Carlos Hernandez, 18, Thomas Ibarra, 53, Diego Gurrola, 52, and Luis Alcala, number 28. The linebackers and defensive backs are Pasaraba, Andres Ramirez, Jose Lara, Ishmael Burgess, who just made that play, and that stellar defender, strong safety, number 19, Andrew Rivera.
Elias with 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Andre Rodriguez in motion. Scrambling this way. He'll keep the ball. Get the first down and take it to midfield. Picks up 6 on the keeper and moving the change for the Scots.
An outstanding referee crew representing the Imperial Valley Football Referees Association, headed by head referee wearing the white cap, Gene Martin. He's joined by umpire John Robb, head linesman Randy Ross, line judge Hector Tarango that just made that call, and the back judge, your friend and mine, Sal Carrillo.
1st and 10 from midfield.
Sal doesn't have to move very much, does he?
If he has to move, he can. He's quick on his feet. Twinkle toes, they call him. Slant to the outside, fumble. It's coughed up and picked up by Troy Marin, who's taking it down the far sideline, the 30, the 20, and almost makes it to the end zone as he's stopped.
He was chased
about 6 yards from it.
Chased down by
a yard from it.
Chased down by Jacobo Elias, the quarterback, who threw that pass to Diego Cisneros. Cisneros trying to get that extra yardage and had the ball out, sticking out like a loaf of bread, and it was knocked loose from him. And as a result, Troy Marin, the alert quarterback spy, was able to pick it up and race down the far sideline in front of the Calexico bench, and more importantly, electrifying the Calexico crowd, getting them back into the ball game. And Calexico inside the red zone, inside the 10-yard line, as an outstanding touchdown-saving tackle by Jacobo Elias.
At the 1 yard line, Vic, it's a 1st and goal for Calexico at the 1.
I have to get my eyes checked, John.
So outstanding play by Troy Marin. Pradis and Torres in the backfield. And Pradis will take it, kind of stumbles, and is brought down there by number 1 and number 31, Ascolani.
Number 12, that's Esteban Turner that made that tackle, and number 1 for the Vincent Memorial defense, that being Andre Estrella.
So a loss of yardage. Bulldogs will now be at the 6 yard line. 2nd and goal. Pradis couldn't turn it up the field. He kind of stumbled coming out of the backfield.
Well,
that kind of blew his momentum.
The Vincent defense had him well scouted, and they were ready for that.
And now he's going right up the middle. Again, they're keying on him and couldn't get anywhere.
And that was number 23 for the Scots, Juan Carlos Sáenz, a 5'6", 160-pound sophomore linebacker, along with number 2, Eugenio Elordi, in to make that stop.
9:52 to go in the first quarter. 14-0 Calexico. Calexico on a 3rd and goal from the 5.
Torres in shotgun formation. He's flanked to the left by Zeus Pradis. Canchola in motion.
And he's looking for somebody to the left. Caught! Touchdown, Calexico. And is that Marco Esquer?
That is Marco Esquer.
Running an out pattern, penalty flag, celebration. Unnecessary to do that. So they'll take it at the kickoff.
So that's only allowed in the pros level, right, John?
Absolutely. So CIF has strict regulations on that.
Well, surprisingly, Calexico's jumped out to an early 20-0 lead. We were concerned that Calexico's running game would be a hindrance if Calexico fell behind, because they're a predominantly run first. They'll run 80 to 90% of the time. But by jumping out to this lead, now Vincent Memorial is put in that position of having to play catch up. So they'll probably be throwing on every down.
That's right. And it'll be an unsportsmanlike conduct taken at the kickoff. So Luis Martinez will try for the point after. 9.5 to go, 2nd quarter.
Benjamin Rodriguez with a hold, Arredondo with a snap.
And gets it off. And so with 9:34 to go, Calexico is up 21-0. Top-notch barbershop at 317 Wake Avenue for one-of-a-kind haircuts. Fresh fades, always a cutaway at Top-Notch Barbershop. By Arctic Air Conditioning, we know that having the right people on the job is just as important as choosing the best equipment. Our York-trained professionals provide you with top-quality equipment, skilled installation, and an expert analysis of your comfort needs. Contact Arctic Air at 352-8855. By Reach Medical Service, our friend Donnie Wharton reminds you that when seconds count, you can depend on Reach Medical Transportation Service. By Jimmy Sanders, Architecture and Engineering, a leader in design, development, and delivery. Sanders Incorporated is a proud supporter of Imperial Valley football, and we wish all our Imperial Valley schools a safe and successful season. by Grasso's, an Imperial Valley tradition since 1955. Family owned and operated, located at 1902 West Main in El Centro. Grasso's open Wednesday through Sunday at 5 p.m. Orders to go or come in and experience that Italian dining. Don't forget to order the double-sided garlic bread, the best anywhere. And by Imperial Printers, what can we print for you today at 430 West Main in El Centro? And by Intercare, when it comes to healthcare, Intercare is here to help with locations throughout the Imperial Valley. Formerly Clínicas de Salud del Pueblo, Intercare, improving the health and wellness of the community. So Calexico kicking off again, but this time they're kicking off from their 25-yard line, and everybody's moved up 15 yards. So Luis Martinez and Apodaca and Rodriguez back to receive.
Well, we're getting set for the kickoff, John. You know, there's been a lot of traditional season-ending games, and it all started last night with the Hopeville Vikings taking it to the Calipatria Hornets in the Axe game. And that's also a long tradition, and kudos to Jason Turner, his coaching staff, and his team in closing out the regular season on a positive note. And we'd also like to congratulate the Calipatria Hornets, who've had a revolving door at the head coaching position, but they showed a lot of resilience this year. They were getting better, improving every game, and it showed the last 3 games of the season. So shout out to both teams as we come into the final week of regular season play.
And you also have tonight the Southwest Eagles and the Imperial Tigers. Also, there's a significance to that game.
Right, it's named after the late Johnny Romero, who was worked at the Imperial County Fire Department and assisted both the coaching staffs and teams for the Southwest Eagles and the Imperial Tigers. And unfortunately, he died several years ago, and to honor him, they decided to have a fireman's helmet, if I'm not mistaken, as a tribute to his legacy. And the game is played between the Tigers of Imperial and the Eagles of Southwest High School.
Thank you for that enlightening history on that gentleman, Johnny Romero. We have an update in the Bell game. It's tied at 7 in the second quarter.
And that game is being played up at Warren Field in Brawley, correct?
That's right, on the friendly confines of Warren Field. So 1st and 10 from midfield. Jacobo Elias brought down by number 53. That's Thomas Ibarra, but there's penalty flags in the backfield.
Was he attempting to pass, John, or was he rolling out on that because
well, he's always attempting to pass.
Well, and I say that because Ibarra came into the game with 5 sacks to his credit in only 6 games, because he started, after the season started, he came on to play football after sitting out last year, and he's made his presence felt tremendously on that defensive line. He's become a stalwart and one of the pillars of that defense, along with Carlos Hernandez and Diego Gurola.
And that was a holding call declined by Calexico, moving it to 2nd and 17. The ball at the 43 of Vincent Memorial.
They need to get to the 40-yard line of Calexico for a first down. A lot of field, but not a challenge to Elias, as he's a very talented junior quarterback.
9 minutes remaining, second quarter.
Calexico blitzing.
Elias going deep, looking for his receiver down the field. That is number 11.
That is, it's not Rodolfo Nelson, he's number 9. So I think it's Ricardo Malo.
So Malo couldn't get to that ball, bringing up a 3rd down and 17.
And ladies and gentlemen, if we miscall several of the players on the Vincent side with jerseys,
it's Victor's fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. It's that a lot of the players have been called up from the junior varsity, and they have duplicate numbers as the varsity players.
Fernando Santana was pretty good enough to get us that information. Assistant coach Fernando Santana. 9 minutes to go, second quarter. 3rd and 17. The ball at the Scott 43. Elias dropping back. Steps up. And evades the tacklers, gets it to the original line of scrimmage. See, with Elias, you have to wrap around. You just can't, you'll bounce off of him and he'll keep moving.
Well, that was a hard 7 a hard-earned 7 yards there by Elias. Couldn't find anybody open. Decided to keep the ball and run. And the Bulldogs playing contained defense with Troy Marin being the quarterback spy. He goes wherever Elias goes, and after running for 7 yards on that play, they brought him down at midfield at the 50 as we get set for the Guevara punt.
And way back for Calexico, Frankie Loera Rodriguez.
If you're not going to pick it up, get out of the way.
They'll spot it. I don't think he can hear you, Vic, but that's good advice. They'll spot it way back at the 13-yard line. And we've been talking about that, about the football IQ, you know, but I guess he wants to act like he's going to pick it up, but he doesn't. But, you know.
Well, football IQ is very important, John, because Calexico doesn't have a Pop Warner program or any type of youth football programs, whether it's flags or touch football or even during PE or an after-school program. A lot of the Vincent players have been playing football since they were 5 and 6 years old, starting out with the Pee-wees, the Mighty Mites, the Midgets, etc. And they've traveled nationally throughout the United States, some of them on all-star teams. So it's very evident. Beautiful tackle there by number 12, I believe.
And that was Frankie Loera Rodriguez on a jet sweep, picking up a yard with 7:54 to go second quarter.
I take that back. That was defensive back number 31, Lucio Ascolani, a 5'8", 155-pound sophomore.
2nd and 9. The ball at the 13 of Calexico. And Sean Torres with Zeus Pradis. Little shovel pass, intercepted, but got back. Frankie Loera Rodriguez. It was in the hands of a Vincent defender, but Frankie Loera Rodriguez pulled it back and got it. What luck.
And that was like a little jump ball pass,
Yeah.
a little jump pass. You know, these guys have been watching Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, that's the kind of play, John, you used to use in your backyard.
Right there to get the first and down. 2 passes is a first down. So the Bulldogs pick up pretty close to a first down. They're about a yard shy. So it'll be 3rd and 1.
Sean Torres, that left-handed sophomore quarterback, joined by Zeus Prades in the backfield.
At the 20-yard line. Pradis will lower his shoulder. Did he get it? He did. They'll get the first down and move the chains barely.
Well, he was met immediately by inside linebacker number 23, sophomore Juan Carlos Sáenz, who lowered his shoulder into Pradis and dropped him immediately, but not until Pradis was able to pick up that yard for a first down. So Calexico move those chains, keep the drive going as the ball is now just shy of the 30-yard line.
6.5 to go, second quarter.
Or shy of the 25-yard line, correction. Pitch to Canchola, John.
Coming this way at the 30, 35, and pushed out of bounds.
By number 31, Lucio Ascolani, a defensive back, a sophomore, coming across the field to make that tackle, but not until
Canchola got 20 yards.
They were able to pick up a valuable first down, and the momentum is all in favor of Calexico with 6:04 remaining here in the second quarter.
Well, you got, Sean Torres a little healthier. You got Marco Esqueda in there, who he wasn't there last time. So I guess, adding some of these players kind of changes things up a bit.
Well, John, the value of leadership, the seniors taking the pressure off the sophomore quarterback, Sean Torres, like that with Canchola taking off down the sideline.
That's Frankie Loera Rodriguez on I think they're pitching it back and forth.
Is that 33 or 13?
That's 13.
Okay.
And he picks up a whole bunch of yardage there, crosses midfield and takes it to the 43 of Vincent with 5:39 to go. They're calling a timeout, and we'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
cada día.
We're back live, ladies and gentlemen. The second quarter played, 5:39 to go. Bulldogs up 21-0. They've got the football on a 1st and 10, going in at the 43 of Vincent. And stopping that play, possible false start, offsides against the Scots. So they'll move the ball up 5 yards inside the 40 at about the 38. We'd like to remind our viewers that we'll get Coach Javier Bernal at halftime, the soccer coach for Calexico High School. Sean Torres keeps it and wiggles his way around, but doesn't get much. He'll take it to the 42.
Well, Calexico trying some chicanery there with the dive play and coming back with a counter as number 60 for Vincent Memorial in to make that stop, and that being Hurtado. Hurtado has 3 jerseys, John. He has 0, 60, and 39.
Take your pick. 5 minutes to go, second quarter. 2nd and 4 for the Bulldogs. Sean Torres with Canchola. No, that's Andres Castro. Castro will get the ball, take it left side. And he'll get the first down.
Well, Castro comes into the game for the Bulldogs as the second leading rusher with 436 yards in spot duty as Prades handles the load, John. He's carries the ball 80% of the time for the Bulldogs. He came into the game with over 1,030 yards, and he's added to his total. I think he has already over 100 here in the first half.
But you've got those reserves that come in and give them a rest, and they can do the job too. So a 1st and 10.
It's called spreading the wealth.
At the 33. And that is Canchola. We'll take it to the 31. A pickup of 2, 4:19 to go, second quarter.
And making the tackle there, number 23, Juan Carlos Sainz, and number 29, Omar Vera, teaming up to bring Canchola down, who was running here to the near sideline on a jet sweep, employed by Calexico quite extensively here in the first half. And they've enjoyed a lot of success in that running game, John, as they've jumped out to an early 21-0 lead with 3:55 remaining in the second quarter.
But they need to keep their momentum up. You never have a comfortable lead here in a game like this.
Well, don't start celebrating too early, John.
Exactly. Sean Torres going to the left, overthrows Marco Esquer.
Well, he had 3 receivers there that were open all on the left side of the field. If you cut it, if you splice the field in half, Torres is a southpaw, a left-hander, and so he looked at Esteban Esquer going deep, and he looked for him, but he also had number 11 for the Bulldogs, Benjamin Rodriguez, running an intermediate out 15 yards and down to the sideline. He was wide open, and you had the other receiver for Calexico, Jesse Hernandez, also open in the flat, as time is being called by the Calexico Bulldogs.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the Town Pump Steakhouse, open Tuesday through Saturday. Call us for reservations at 344-3663. Located in Westmoreland, the Town Pump serves up a delicious, savory steak and lobster dinner. Come and experience a Valley tradition over 50 years. By Marianne Valenzuela, your State Farm insurance agent in the Imperial Valley. Like a good neighbor, she's located at 528 G Street in Brawley. Call Marianne Valenzuela Fenley at 344-0447 for all your insurance needs. By Ray Castillo, Supervisor District 5. Your County Supervisor District 5, Ray Castillo, is a proud sponsor of VSN, and he would like to remind his constituents in District 5 to get involved in their community. And by the Dom team for all your real estate needs. Doug or Andrew Dom, call them at 337-8600. The Dom family has been in the Valley since 1908 for business, residential, and farmland real estate. It's the Dom team. And by CR&R Incorporated, Environmental Services. With recycling now more important than ever, CR&R Incorporated has developed innovative recycling and reuse programs. CR&R Incorporated, the face of a greener generation. So a 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs. Down at the Vincent 32. Little fake in the back to Marco Esquet going to the left side. Finds a lot of running room, gets a first down and more. Will take it to the 12-yard line of Vincent.
An excellent play called by Coach Fernando Solano and offensive coordinator Steve Boo Torres there to get that play, catching on a counter. The Scots were overrunning on defense, expecting Prades to have the ball, and then the talent of Esteban Esquer, was that Esteban or Marco Esquer? Marco Esquer get into the outside, he cut it back to the center of the field and picked up some valuable yardage inside the red zone.
Sean Torres.
Andres
Castro will take it to the 10.
Met initially by number 60, Hurtado. Also Emilio Fimbres in to make the stop, playing the nose guard position.
So a second now and 9 or 8 for the Bulldogs with 2:41 to go in the second quarter.
Also assisting on that play was number 65, Gabriel Gonzalez, 5'11", 220 nose guard for Vincent Memorial.
Castro in the backfield with Sean Torres. Quick pass, but throws behind the intended receiver, who I believe was Andres Ramirez.
Well, you know, the receivers are open. They're open by several yards, and, you know, Sean Torres just has to dial it in and start throwing to, you know, connecting.
Right. So they've got a 3rd and 8, Vic.
And I say that because it may come back to haunt Calexico in the second half if they're not making that connection. You know, because 21 points isn't an insurmountable lead. You know, the talent of Vincent Memorial can come back quickly.
Sean Torres with a quick pass over the middle, but nobody there.
Just the referee as he threw it to his feet.
Looks like he was going for number 27, and that is Jesse Hernandez. So it'll bring him a 4th down, and they're going to see if Luis Martinez can try for the field goal.
Well, the one positive out of this drive, John, is that the receivers are open. Now it's just a matter of some consistency by Sean Torres and finding his receivers and making that connection. Because when he does, positive things happen for the Calexico Bulldog offense.
And it looks like a 27-yard attempt for Calexico, Luis Martinez.
Number 11, Benjamin Rodriguez, a senior, will be the holder.
Snap set, and it is
a low line drive.
Looks like it was deflected by number 29 for the Scots.
So that may be a momentum booster for the Vincent Memorial Scott team, as under the tutelage of David Wong, a longtime coach. He's assisted by offensive guru Fernando Santana. Their staff is Bariquiel Fimbres, Luis Cueva, Manuel Montoya, Sergio Martinez, Robert Marroquin, Hector Robinson, Arturo Rosas, and Gustavo Padilla. And their invaluable statistician, Juan Pablo Gracia Gorostiza.
So with 2:17 to go, first half, 21-0, Calexico. Vincent has the ball at the 20. Elias out of the shotgun, over the middle. Completes the pass to that's Andre Rodriguez. And he'll pick up 8.
Andre Rodriguez came into the game with 35 receptions for 720 yards. And he's just adding to his total there as he splits out to the near sideline.
The winning moments of the second quarter. Elias going deep for Apodaca and guarded extremely well
by Burgess, number 8, Ishmael Burgess.
They were toe-to-toe all the way down the near sideline.
Well,
Vic.
That's been part of the defensive scheme for the Calexico Bulldog defense, headed by Leo Pacheco Jr., as he said, hey, we're going to have to man up. Our best defenders are going to go against their best skill players, and you're going to have to play them man-to-man. No excuses. If they beat you, they beat you. But guard them like what you would say, a cheap wetsuit, right?
Guard it all over him like a cheap suit. The ones that you buy off the rack there at Nordstrom's. No, I'm just kidding. 141 and counting in this first half. Movement on the line. Diego Gurrola a little over anxious.
But John would always be in style with those wingtips like Perk with the leather soles.
Against Calexico, they're going to move 5 yards and give Vincent a first down. Those Allen Edmonds are expensive, Vic. I need to buy me a pair.
Well, they last a lifetime. All you have to do is polish them once a year, and you're good to go.
And I had a pair I used to resole every 3 or 4 years down in Mexicali. They saw me coming. First and 10. Elias going in the air. Apodaca can't find the handle as he's running a pass to the outside.
Well, Elias is everything as advertised. He's the one that's been making the plays on the money. It's just the other Vincent players have to step up and start making those catches to keep this offensive drive going. So they're faced with a 2nd and 10, the ball at the Vincent 33-yard line.
He's got 4 receivers to the left side. One going to the right.
That's Ricardo Malo in motion.
Going for Malo. Malo gets the pass at the 40, and he's going all the way. Touchdown, Vincent Memorial.
A 63-yard touchdown pass.
In less than 2 minutes, they're moving the ball.
That's awakened the crowd here at Vincent. A sellout here at Cal Jones Field in El Centro, California, the Central High School football field. As you can hear the traditional Alavim, 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 boom, ba. Moreno, Moreno, ra, ra, ra. Sounds like they're passing the hat, John. They're taking a collection.
Elias with a point after.
For that famous taco run.
And he'll get it. Tonight's game is brought to you by Hart Insurance. For over 70 years, Hart Insurance has provided insurance solutions to the residents of Brawley and El Centro and surrounding areas throughout California. We have a heart for insurance. Look for a new location in Brawley on K Street by Jesus Cachu Escobar, Supervisor, District 1. A proud sponsor of VSN. Jesus Escobar would like to thank its constituents of District 1, and he wishes all Valley teams a good season. By Johnny's Burritos, founded in 1963 by Johnny and Ana Maria Palomino, serving homemade Mexican and American food, located in Imperial and Brawley, and one in El Centro, I just found out over here by Home Depot. And by Ivy Welding and Mechanical, industrial welding contractor serving the geothermal and all industrial facilities in the Imperial Valley. Ivy Welding is a proud sponsor of the Valley Sports Network. Call Fred at 760-482-WELD. And by the Que Pasa Calexico podcast with Jose Alejos. Over 6 years of interviewing people with ties to the Imperial Valley. Learn, grow, and make the Imperial Valley a better place. And by Ojeda Industries. Tony and Patricia Ojeda, serving the Imperial Valley for your industrial and agricultural needs. Hydraulic service and repair is their specialty, located in Brawley at 1698 Jones Street. And by Havens Landscaping for your rock and landscaping materials needed for your home or business. Give Havens a call at 352-6735.
Well, John, go ahead.
And one more. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month for the El Centro PD, who is proud to honor and support those who have been impacted by breast cancer. Go ahead, Vic.
No, I was just going to say, with 1:27 remaining here in the first half, Vincent finally draws blood and gets on the scoreboard. They've cut into the 21-0 lead of Calexico. It's now 21-7 as we get set for the Guevara kickoff. Deep for Calexico, you have
number 13, Frankie Loera Rodriguez, and number 19, Andrew Rivera on the far side.
And the up back standing at his own 20-yard line in center field is Marco Esquer, who has a touchdown to his credit already in this ballgame.
Andrew Rivera will bring it up. Looking for that picket fence. And we'll take it to the 34-yard line where the Bulldogs can take over. 1st and 10 with 1:19 to go.
So with a minute 19 remaining, John, you have a chance to run at least 4 or 5 running plays. We'll probably see Zeus Prades get the brunt of the ball carries along with Leo Canchola and maybe a little bit of Andres Castro. What say you?
Well, let's just see what Calexico can do now. The lead has been cut down to 14, and Calexico still has a minute 19 to go.
Do I sense a little fear and trepidation in your voice there?
No, not at all. I'm just, I'm trying to be logical here. Here late in the second quarter. And well, Prades is back in there.
And rightfully so, John. The Scots have an explosive offense behind that golden arm of Jacobo Elias.
Timeout is called. Calexico didn't like what they saw, so they're going to call a timeout. And we'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
Cada día, el Distrito de Irrigación de Imperial, su entidad pública, ha proporcionado servicio de energía confiable y económico a sus clientes en los valles de Imperial y Coachella. Comparado con otros proveedores de energía, los clientes residenciales, comerciales y gubernamentales del IID ahorran hasta un 50% en sus facturas. Es porque el IID está comprometido a más que solo proporcionar energía. El IID está comprometido con usted. IID, donde los clientes siempre son primero.
Make COVID-19 boosters part of your summer plans. Children 5 years of age and older are now eligible for a COVID-19 Pfizer booster. The vaccine is safe, free, and effective. Visit myturn.ca.gov or call 442-265-6700 to schedule your child's appointment or find a clinic near you. Have a safe summer. Get boosted. Visit myturn.ca.gov or call 442-265-6700.
Back at live action here late in the second quarter. Calexico has a football. Sean Torres rolling out on a 1st and 10. Shooting it over to Leo Canchola. Looks like it went incomplete.
He was being guarded closely by number 17 of Vincent Memorial, that being Roberto Rivera, a 5'8", 160-pound senior. So Calexico surprising everybody by going to the air on that first play after the timeout. With 1:15 remaining here in the second quarter, before we go into the half, Vincent will be celebrating senior night, so they'll be making introductions during the halftime show. The show has been extended for 5 additional minutes for a 20-minute period as we get set for Sean Torres in shotgun formation.
He's rolling out and almost intercepted it. It was tipped by number 31, Ascolani.
Ascolani, Lucio, only a sophomore.
So a 3rd and 10 for Calexico with a minute 9. The ball inside the 35 at the 34.
So Calexico started the game like gangbusters, John, jumping out to a quick 21-0 lead, and then that momentum changed on one pass play from Elias to Ricardo Malo.
And Sean Torres gets a low snap with it, gets the pass off Marco Esquer, I believe, taking it to the 47 of Vincent, a 1st and 10, crossing midfield, move those chains.
Marco Esquer, the son of the Bulldog great back in the 80s, the mark of excellence Esquer, and the grandson of Henry Esquer,
from the class of 1960. So 3 generations out there. A minute 3 to go, 1st and 10 for Calexico late in this first half.
3 receivers split to the near sideline, keyed by Marco Esquer here, standing closest to us, just at the 49-yard line.
And Sean Torres and Zeus Prades. Sean Torres is rolling out, looking for Prades. Caught! 1st and 10, and he takes it inside the 30 to at the 28-yard line. A pickup of 20 yards.
Well, we're playing to Calexico's strength, and Torres having him roll out to the left. He's a left-hander, throwing short passes, and he's starting to dial in, John, where he's making that connection.
44 seconds and counting. They'll stop. He spikes the ball to stop the clock. So time to regroup. Can he do something in 41 seconds on a 2nd and 9? Or a 2nd and 10, actually.
So Calexico offensively has been relying on their offensive line to provide that necessary protection, that being Gael Monzon, Nicolas Leon, center Mario Arredondo, the right side Jared Ramos, and Hosmar Alvarado.
Now rolling out this way, Sean Torres finding it hard to throw the pass that way. There's a penalty flag thrown in the backfield, holding against Calexico.
Well, Sean running against the grain, running to his right, trying to throw across his body as he's a left-hander. He would have been better off throwing with his right hand. He had the receivers open, but once again, way off target. So I hope it's not, this is constructive criticism, because his strengths are rolling out to his left, throwing short passes, unless they call for the bomb, the deep pattern by design, where the receiver can just take off flat out running, and then Sean just can throw the ball, and have him run to it.
So moving the ball back 10 yards or more.
But he's in his defense, John, he's nursing a tender calf. He's not able to really push off, plant at foot, and throw. So primarily he's throwing with his arm only instead of his body.
2nd and 25 from the 42.
See, this is where we need Butch Morales as a former quarterback to break down the mechanics of a quarterback and the throwing.
And the false start against Calexico. So another 5 yards, it'll be 2nd and 30.
So it looked like a promising drive, John, that made it to the 27-yard line. Calexico is now back at the 47-yard line. They've retreated 20 yards here on this drive with 36 seconds remaining in the half.
Screen pass. Andres Ramirez finds a lot of room. The 30, the 25, the 10, the 5, no flags. Touchdown, Calexico. Andres Ramirez on a screen takes it to the house.
The last man that had a chance to bring him down was number 33, Armando Apodaca, but it was a foot race, and the angle of Andres Ramirez gave him an advantage, and he utilized it to the best of his ability as he takes the ball in for another Calexico touchdown with 26 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. It's now 27-0 as we get set for the Martinez point after.
2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes, one from each team, Vic. Determination is evident.
Well, that's an announcer's delight, right?
Right. So Luis Martinez with a point after and 26 seconds to go.
And the surprising element, John, is it's a passing attack that's given Calexico the greatest success because they came in with a vaunted running game.
So Calexico with a false start will have to try it from 5 yards back. So now it'll be at the 8.
Well, John, before this game, we should have started a pool to say how many false starts will Calexico have or penalties called in the game.
Well, we don't want many of those. We don't, it's too late in the season for false starts.
Well, they had about 7 against Brawley last week, right?
And that one is blocked. So it looks like.
And that was number 12 for Vincent Memorial, Esteban Turner, 6'1", 165, utilizing his talent, his height, and his determination to get in there and block that extra point attempt. So with 26 seconds remaining, before we turn the mic over to John Moreno, Calexico 27, Vincent 7.
We got any updates in the Bell game yet? It looks like it's already at halftime over there. As that, it's still tied at, I believe it's probably tied at 7. We're going to talk to our VSN North people, Will Torres and Ron Rubio, calling that game.
Where's our statistician supreme, Jalen Fong, at tonight?
He may have gone to the Southwest game. Southwest and Imperial, that game being called by Mickey Dale and George Grijalva. And that's on the KXO website.
two outstanding announcers, and that silky smooth voice of Mickey Dale, and that outstanding analysis provided by George Grijalva. His grandson is Seth Shaw, so that's an extra highlight for him. He gets to see him play every game.
And the other grandfather for Seth Shaw is Menyo Padilla from Brawley.
Megan's grandfather.
Right, yeah. So a lot of families intertwined in the Imperial Valley. So Calexico will kick off with 26 seconds. Apodaca and Rodriguez back to receive the Luis Martinez kickoff.
Well, Calexico enjoying a 20-point advantage right now with the closing seconds of the half.
End over end, and Andre Rodriguez inside the 10. Bringing it up, coming to the outside. And brought down
by number 19, Andrew Rivera.
He's fired up. And so the Scots at the 16-yard line will take over 1st and 10.
So, John, what's your analysis thus far after almost 2 quarters of plays? We have 18.6 seconds remaining.
Well, other than that excellent pass from Elias to Malo, the Scots haven't really been able to get their momentum going. And so I think coming in the 3rd quarter, they may have to make some adjustments.
Well, they will at halftime, and I'm sure they've been in this position before, and David Wong and Fernando Santana have a lot of experience. The team itself has a lot of respect for their coaching staff, and they'll listen closely, intently, and be able to bring something out different as time has been called.
We'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
At Burgers and Beer, our customers are like family. Let's hear what a few of them have to say about us.
We're here at Burgers and Beer with the best burgers in town.
We get to sit together and enjoy the great food.
I like from Burgers and Beer is in the lemonade.
For the fresh iced tea, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
It was wonderful, very fast, very efficient.
I love the great food and family environment.
I love the burgers and the customer service.
So come and see us and find out for yourself at Burgers and Beer.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, with 18 seconds to go. The Scots on a 1st and 10 inside their own 20. Jacobo Elias. Shotgun. Short pass to Rodriguez in the left flat. It's caught. Stopping the clock with 12 seconds.
Rodriguez running a 12 and out as number 33, Leo Canchola, guarding him closely, man on man. He's an outside linebacker.
They're giving him some gaps there now.
Well, it's a prevent defense, but Vincent's used to that, throwing underneath.
Elias now to the right. The pass is caught over there to the right side with 22 on the reception. That is
Roberto Carranza.
It'll give him a 1st down. They're going to move it to the 30.
Offensively, the Scots go with Gabriel Guilin at center. The guards are Montaño and Gabriel Duarte. The tackles are Marco Gastelum and Jesus Alonso Hurtado.
Elias dropping back, steps up, airs it out, and it's intercepted by Andres Ramirez. And that'll end the 1st half of play with Calexico up 27-7. And we'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
Reducir el uso de energía durante el verano es más importante que nunca. Este verano, IID le anima a hacer su parte al ajustar su termostato a 78 grados o más, evitar usar electrodomésticos principales de 4 a 9 p.m. y apagar luces innecesarias. Pero aún hay más. IID ofrece un número de oportunidades de ahorro de energía. Conozca nuestros consejos de ahorro de energía en iid.com. Trabajemos juntos para estar frescos y para ahorrar energía este verano.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy-saving guides at iid.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
out. Your publicly owned Imperial Irrigation District proudly delivers low-cost, reliable energy service to its customers in the Imperial and Coachella Valleys. When compared to other power providers, IID's residential, commercial, and governmental customers all save up to 50% on their monthly energy bills. That's because IID is committed to more than just delivering power. IID is committed to you. IID, where customers always come first.
Cada día, el Distrito de Irrigación de Imperial, su entidad pública, ha proporcionado servicio de energía confiable y económico a sus clientes en los valles de Imperial y Coachella. Comparado con otros proveedores de energía, los clientes residenciales, comerciales y gubernamentales del IID ahorran hasta un 50% en sus facturas. Es porque el IID está comprometido a más que solo proporcionar energía. El IID está comprometido con usted. IID, donde los clientes siempre son primero.
Make COVID-19 boosters part of your summer plans. Children 5 years of age and older are now eligible for a COVID-19 Pfizer booster. The vaccine is safe, free, and effective. Visit myturn.ca.gov or call 442-265-6700 to schedule your child's appointment or find a clinic near you. Have a safe summer. Get boosted. Visit myturn.ca.gov or call 442-265-6700.
So from the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night, it's exciting Imperial Valley football provided by Valley Sports Network, VSN. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Cal Jones Field in our halftime show as the Vincent Memorial Scots are celebrating senior night, introducing not only the football players that are seniors with their parents, but also the senior cheerleaders that are accompanied by their parents as well. So it's a collective and collaborative effort here as Vincent culminating the season finale here against crosstown rival, the Calexico Bulldogs. And speaking of the Calexico Bulldogs, our halftime guest is that vaunted soccer coach for the last 20 years, Javier Bernal. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
So Javier, tell us about the soccer side of the football that starts after the American football programs are over. It coincides with basketball during the winter season, and then you take control of Willis Ward Field as your home site. But how did you end up in Calexico from Garden Grove? Tell us a little bit and the audience about who Javier Bernal is.
That's a long story how I ended up here. I was in the military and I met a young lady from Calexico.
That always happens.
27 years later, I'm still here. And you know, I consider myself to be from Calexico now. I've made a career as a teacher, and I've been coaching for the past 20 years.
Well, it's Garden Grove's loss and Calexico's gain. So what department are you teaching in?
I have been teaching English at the high school.
Okay, so let's talk about soccer. Soccer also has 11 players on each side, but it's played with their feet, not with their hands. You've had a lot of success since you've been here at Calexico, winning 11 league championships, going to CIF. It's very tough once you get into the San Diego CIF because a lot of the schools there, a lot of their players play year-round, and they play, what do they call it, travel ball or these private soccer leagues. Tell us what kind of a challenge that has been.
Well, we compete in Division One. We've competed Division One for 17 years and 3 in Division Two. Soccer in San Diego is a different sport. I consider it a different sport. They have the training, the facilities, the coaches, the support, the professionalism. They have everything going for them. So we have to get ready. We have to prepare. We have to use what we have, our skills, our technique, our conditioning, our strength, and use the Latino picardia to play soccer against them. They're always going to be bigger, they're always going to be taller, but that's when our conditioning and our pre-season workouts come into play.
Now, does physical size and stature make a difference in soccer as it does in football, where you have these offensive linemen that weigh 250 to 300 pounds, etc., and the receivers and running backs with this blinding speed? Soccer is more of a quickness, ball control, coordination. You tell us.
At this level, physical size, physical strength does make a difference. At the professional level, it may not, but at this level it does. So because we are on the shorter side in height, so we have to use our conditioning and our technique that we have.
How do you determine who plays where as far as the field's concerned? From the goalie to the defenders, who your strikers are, etc.
90% of the kids think they are forwards. They want to score. They want the highlight reel. But once they try out, I have to see where they are, see if they can run, see if they have the speed, see if they have the technique, see if they can kick with both legs, see if they can jump and head the ball. And I also look for who is more stable with their feet, who's strength, who has the vision. So I have to determine who's a defender, who's a midfielder, and who's a forward.
Now, stamina and endurance would play major roles in a soccer player. At the pro level, they play 45-minute halves or 90 minutes for the game. What's it like at the scholastic or high school level?
High school level is 40-minute halves, so it's 80-minute games. It's not as the speed of the game is not as fast as a professional, but it is still quite fast, especially when we play D1 in San Diego. Those kids, those teams, those coaches, they are quick. So that's where we have to fight for the speed, and we have to come out with what we have. Our stamina, it's average anywhere from 3 to 5 miles per game. So our practices have to be at least 3 to 5 miles per practice so we can build up that stamina.
So the practices are more grueling than the actual game, where the game could be a walk in the park, as they say. Tell us, what's the outlook for the Calexico Bulldogs Soccer Club for this season?
We are going to be competing in Division One once again this year. We have a tough schedule. We have 11 road games, all in San Diego. And my philosophy is, let's go out and play against the best in San Diego CIF, Division One, Division Two teams. Let's measure up to see what we have. We play them, and then we come back and we play Imperial Valley teams, Imperial Valley schools. And then we measure up against them and see where we are. And then we get ready for the playoffs. We've made 18 playoff appearances in 20 years. We have one Division One final, we lost, and we have one Division Two final, we lost. So we're there, we're competitive. Schools, they like to play us because we bring a different style. And also schools like to measure against what we have because they know we're going to end up in the playoffs and they're going to see us in the playoffs somewhere along the line.
Now, when you talk about the style, I usually watch soccer when it's the World Cup, and there's a lot made about the South American style, like in Brazil, versus what Mexico employs, and then the European clubs like Italy and England, that they're more physical, they're more defensive, trying to go. A tie is a win type of thing, where, and I think that's why soccer never caught on in the American culture here with kids that grew up playing American football. It was a boring game, but there's a lot of intricacy and skill just in the game itself, in the keep away, the attacking, and the strategy that's been implemented and employed against their opponent.
When we talk about the style that we play, the style that I like to play, to put it in football terms or in basketball terms, instead of going for your 2-yard run or 3-yard run rush in football, I'm going to go for a 30-yard pass. If I put it in basketball terms, instead of going, for 24-second and take a 2-point shot, I'm going to go for a 3-pointer every time. So if you think of it like in those terms for soccer, I don't want to do what in the soccer world is called a tiki-taka. You pass the ball. I like to go for the run as soon as possible.
Go ahead. Well, I remember playing basketball in Mexicali when we take a team over from Calexico or the Imperial Valley to play there at the gym on the Reforma. If the other team, the Mexicali team, took a lead, they would employ soccer-style strategy and play keep-away. This was before shot clocks. And we used to get bored, frustrated. We'd start fouling just to get the ball back. And I can understand the tiki-taka. But there has to be excitement, I'm sure, when your kids come out to try out for the team to play for you because of that attacking mode that you're teaching them.
Yeah, and speaking in style, it's just what we have. We have to build on our strengths, and that's our strength is our stamina, our conditioning, our speed that we have with our forwards, and we have to capitalize on that.
So speaking from a player periscope, what does the team look like now from 1 through 11 or 1 through 20? Your players, returning players, what you have skill or talent at certain positions?
Every year I make sure that I bring back half the team. That's my goal every year because I don't want to start from scratch. So this year again I have 10 returners. Luis Martinez is one, and a couple other guys that are playing football. So every year we build on the returning players, and we have guys that I meet along the way. I just met a couple of freshmen this year that are really interesting. They're a little short on the height scale, but they have the skills and they have the hunger to prove themselves in the varsity.
Now for bragging rights, Brawley and Central have the ball game in football. The Hopeville Vikings and the Calipatria Hornets have the axe game. The Southwest Eagles and the Imperial Tigers have the Johnny Romero fireman helmet game. And now Vincent Memorial and Calexico have the Battle for the Border. Tell us about the Copa del Valle. That's a traditional soccer matchup, right? Or
yes. It's been around longer than I have. Since in the 20 years that I've been here, we've come out victorious 14 times. The last couple of years, the cup has disappeared somewhere.
Is it always against the same rival? Or?
It's always Calexico Centro.
Oh, Calexico Central.
Calexico Central. So, we have it this year. We've had it for the past 3 years, and our goal is to do it again this year.
Now, this field, Cal Jones Field, was designed for American football. They don't have a running track, but Calexico's field, Willis Ward Field, under the direction and care of Chris De La Rosa and his crew, I mean, that field is beautifully manicured and well prepared and taken care of. How much of a home field advantage does that play for the Calexico Soccer Club?
Unfortunately, I don't think it's a home field advantage for us. Ironically, I really like this field. This is a soccer field. You have the stands that are right behind us, and you can feel the fans, you can feel the parents, and you can hear the scream. In our field or in Brawley or in Southwest, you really can't hear the fans, or you really can't feel the emotions they're going through the games. But in this field here at Centro, it's actually my second favorite field. It's excellent for soccer. Not sure if it was football or soccer, if it was meant to be that way, but it works out for us. We've had a lot of success on this field.
So speaking of the Imperial Valley Soccer League for high school, who are your strongest challengers and possibly standing in the way of another Calexico High School crown?
So we're going to go for our 13th IVL this year. No disrespect to any of the programs out there, but it's always going to be between Calexico, Central, and Southwest.
Okay.
Southwest has always given us the most trouble, but we are going to be there again with them.
And is there any particular reason for that? Is there a feeder system for these three schools, or that you can count on? Players coming from Mexicali, players being developed here that participate in local youth soccer leagues?
I'm not sure what it is about Centro and Southwest, but for us, kids that come from Mexicali don't really buy into my program. A lot of discipline involved, a lot of conditioning involved, and they're not used to that type of soccer. So once they see my regimen, my practice techniques, they kind of don't like that. So they choose to go somewhere else to play soccer. So Central and Southwest, I'm not sure why they are successful or competitive in the IVL.
Okay, any closing comments to our listening audience as far as the soccer program and providing support? When is your first game?
Our first game is going to be official. Our official first game is November 29th. We will be at Canyon Crest Academy in San Diego.
And when is your first local game at Calexico?
At Calexico is going to be, I believe it's June 7th. We have Steel Canyon from El Cajon coming down.
June 7th or January 7th?
January 7th, sorry.
Oh, not until the next year, 2023.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be a little older there, but who knows? Maybe VSN can cover one of these games. I don't know how we would announce soccer, but
I actually do the soccer play-by-play, but it's a different sport, like you said, Mr. Carrillo.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, Javier Bernal, the successful coach, 20 years in the making here at Calexico High School, the dean of all soccer coaches in the Imperial Valley, as he leads Calexico to another championship in the 22-23 calendar year for soccer here in high school sports. Javier, thank you for gracing our stage and our broadcast.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having Mr. Moreno.
Okay, we'll be back with more in a minute on Valley Sports Network.
At Burgers and Beer, our customers are like family. Let's hear what a few of them have to say about us.
We're here at Burgers and Beer with the best burgers in town.
We get to sit together and enjoy the great food.
I like from Burgers and Beer is in the lemonade.
For the fresh iced tea, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
This is wonderful, very fast, very efficient.
I love the great food and family environment.
I love the burgers and the customer service.
So come and see us and find out for yourself at Burgers and Beer.
Reducir el uso de energía durante el verano es más importante que nunca. Este verano, IID le anima a hacer su parte al ajustar su termostato a 78 grados o más, evitar usar electrodomésticos principales de 4 a 9 p.m. y apagar luces innecesarias. Pero aún hay más. IID ofrece un número de oportunidades de ahorro de energía. Conozca nuestros consejos de ahorro de energía en iid.com. Trabajemos juntos para estar frescos y para ahorrar energía este verano.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back live starting the second half of play here at Cal Jones Fields. The battle for the border, Calexico and Vincent getting it on. We have an update with the ball game. It's a 9-7 score with the Brawley Wildcats on top in the third quarter. But right now, we're going to start our third quarter here. Senior night is over with the Scots kicking off to the Bulldogs. An onside kick gets a good bounce. It'll go out of bounds around the 44.
So is that number 55 for Calexico? Recovering, that was Jose Zavala. So the ball did go 10 yards. We've got Sal Carrillo out there, the back judge, walking out to the down marker.
And we just got informed that safety, the Brawley Central, fell in their own end zone, and Brawley gets a safety. And now the score is 11-7.
Still 9-7.
Still 9-7?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Calexico Bulldogs come out with Sean Torres, number 5, at quarterback. He'll be joined in the backfield with Zeus Pradis. Leo Canchola will be playing wing back and going in motion. Andrew Rivera, Jesse Hernandez, and Benji Rodriguez are the wideouts. Offensively, they go with Monzon, Leon, Arredondo, Ramos, and Alvarado. The front 5, the blockers, will give you the Vincent defense after this play.
And excellent field position from that onside for Calexico. 1st and 10. Pradis go to the left side and pick up 3 yards. He'll cross midfield and take it to the 48 of Vincent.
Straight dive by Jesus Pradis, brought down by Juan Carlos Sáenz, along with Marco Tejeda and Lucio Ascolani, the inside linebackers for the Vincent Memorial Scots, as Vincent goes with Eugenio Elordi wearing jersey number 2, Miguel Reese number 4, Max Ascolani, the older brother, with jersey number 7, Pedro Zavala 9, Esteban Turner 12, and Andre Rodriguez 13.
Pradis stutter steps, but pushes his way forward and picks up 6 as he'll take it to the 42. Got to get to the 41 for a first down.
Number 56, Marco Gastelum, 6'4", 240 pounds, playing the nose position for Vincent Memorial, there to make the initial contact, and then it was Sáenz along with Diego Silva, inside to make the stop.
A 3rd and 1, Vic. We're just starting the 3rd quarter of play with 10 minutes, 50 seconds remaining. Pradis will go to the left side, finds room, turns it up the field, eludes a tackler, and still on his feet as he takes it inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line.
Well, number 17 for Vincent Memorial, Roberto Rivera, 5'8", 160-pound senior, had him out in the flat, and Pradis was able to shake him off, and as a result, after going off tackle, able to advance the ball inside the 30-yard line down to the 22 of Calexico. We have an injured Scot there sitting at the 33-yard line.
Number 17.
17, that's Roberto Rivera. So time will be called.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Driscoll's, who's been serving the Imperial Valley since 1979, and they take great pride in the years of experience and quality of custom silk screen and embroidery services. Make sure you stop by and check out their huge selection of street clothes, sunglasses, and sandals at State and Imperial in El Centro.
Shades of Carrillo there.
And for the best burgers in town, it's Burgers and Beer in El Centro, open 7 days a week and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Come watch the VSN Game of the Week at Burgers and Beer by Imperial Valley College, founded in 1962. Proud sponsor of VSN's live stream for all Imperial Valley high schools. IVC, fostering excellence in education for 60 years. So Sean Torres on a 1st and 10.
Hand off to Castro, trying to go off of the right side behind the blocking of Ramos and Alvarado, but he ran into a Vincent wall led by number 54, Manuel Montaño, 6'2", 200 pounds, along with Ascolani and Sáenz there to make the stop.
A loss of 2 yards, so that'll be at the 23.
Vincent needs to tighten up and offer some more resistance, John. They can't let Calexico put this game out of hand with another touchdown.
Castro in the backfield, Sean Torres. Canchola in motion with a jet sweep this way. Turns it up the field, takes it to the 20. Stop there, number 5 for Vincent.
Number 5 and number 23. 23 being Juan Carlos Sáenz, and number 5, Alvaro Pereira, a freshman, only a 6-footer, 155 pounds. So a lot of youth on the Vincent Memorial defensive side of the ball, John. A lot of freshmen and sophomores starting and playing vital roles for their defense.
And we see that in a lot of places now where freshmen are becoming a big part of the varsity.
And is that why, I mean, is it because schools are eliminating their freshman program that these kids are playing with a sophomore JV program?
Some schools don't have a freshman program, and they call it a frost off. Down goes Sean Torres on that sack.
And that was number 1, Andre Estrella, coming in from his defensive end position, knifing through and sacking Sean Torres for a loss.
And it'll be a 4th and 15, the ball at the 28-yard line.
Well, you know, John, as I mentioned early in the game, teams have 4 to 5 plays designed from the 50-yard line to the 30. Calexico right now at the 27-yard line. And let's see what they have faced with a 4th and 16.
3 receivers on the right.
They might as well look at the end zone.
And quick pass to number 11. That is Benji Rodriguez.
And the Scott defense prevails as they hold the Bulldogs on downs. So with 7:56 remaining, Vincent Memorial will take over, down by a score of 27-7 here at Cal Jones Field on the Central campus in El Centro, California.
7:56 to go. We'll get to his sponsors in just a minute. And a 1st and 10 for Jacobo Elias. Jacobo Elias with Malo in motion. And he is brought down from behind. And that is the initial number 66 for Calexico.
But finishing him off was number 52, Diego Gurola.
We don't have a name for number 66.
So the Bulldogs defense is trying to keep Jacobo Elias in between the tackles and not let him get to the outside. And Troy Marin is playing that quarterback spy position there in the center, wearing jersey number 10.
Coming out of that pocket and taking it down the field just so swiftly. Vic, he'll get a 1st down and a whole lot more as he takes it to the Calexico 41.
Well, finally able to chase him down, but not until he crosses midfield and gets into the 41-yard line of Calexico was number 10, Troy Marin. So the elusiveness of Jacobo Elias once again providing Vincent with a 1st down.
Has time, steps up into the pocket, finds a receiver, Malo, on a crossing route, gets a 1st down, and will take it inside the 30 to about the 25.
Ricardo Malo making that reception, already has 1 touchdown to his credit.
6:49 to go in the 3rd quarter. Elias in the shotgun. Apodaca split to the far side with Rodriguez. Over the middle to Rodriguez. Does he get it? It's incomplete. No, that's Apodaca.
Apodaca couldn't hang on as Ishmael Burgess, number 8, making an excellent defensive play, knocking that ball out of his possession at the last second, and as a result, it falls incomplete. Otherwise, Vincent would have had a 1st and goal on this drive. So 6:43 remaining. Vincent faced with a 2nd and 10, down by a score of 27-7. Still plenty of time to get back into the ball game, but it's 1 play at a time, John, right now for the Vincent Memorial Scots.
Elias over the middle again, shoots, fires it to number 11.
That's Ricardo Malo. Number 18 for Calexico, covering on that play. That was Carlos Hernandez.
But his accuracy is just right there. It's boom.
Very precise, John.
And it's on a rope.
They call it a frozen rope.
Well, it's not that cold out here, but I know what you mean. Zoop. 6:39 and counting, 3rd quarter. It's a 3rd and 10. Elias out of the shotgun. Rolling, scrambling, brought down from behind. It looks like Diego Gurola in on a sack.
That's number 52, Diego Gurola, 56 tackles to his credit this season, along with Thomas Ibarra. That is, he likes to go by Thomas.
A 4th down and 20. Maybe a little less than 20, so the Scots in a critical position here. They're going to go with it. Rodriguez and Apodaca split to the far side.
It's an empty backfield for Jacobo Elias.
And drawing the Bulldogs off sides.
That was number 53, Thomas Ibarra, and number 52, Diego Gurola, over eager. You don't move until the ball snapped.
And they're a little overzealous. It'll still be a 4th and long, but they're inside the 30 now, going into Calexico.
They're in the green zone, John. It's a little more manageable. This is probably the last area where you can throw a seam route down inside the hash marks.
Elias this time will let it go. A man is wide open, and he can't hang on to it. Number 22, it hit him in the hands. He drops it.
That was Roberto Carranza,
and they'll
only
turn
a sophomore.
They turn the ball over, and he was wide open and nobody around him. So Calexico looks out on that one, gets a 1st and 10.
A golden opportunity missed by Vincent Memorial to score on that play. So with 5:47 remaining here in the third quarter, Calexico dodges a bullet there, and they'll take over on downs inside their own 30-yard line. The ball at the 26.
Prades and Zeus Prades and Sean Torres back in there. Canchola in the slot, in motion now. Prades will get the handoff as he goes to the far side. Turns it up the field, gets a 1st down and more. He's at the 50, down to the 40. And it looks like he may have gone out of bounds before the 50. So Calexico will get a 1st and 10 on an excellent run by Zeus Prades. They'll spot the ball at the 47.
Excellent run, John, provided by great blocking by Gael Monzon and Nicolas Leon, the left side of the offensive line. And after that, it was all Zeus Prades once he got past the line of scrimmage. Vincent exhibiting excellent pursuit, but not until Prades was able to get that 1st down.
So 1st and 10, 5:39 to go, 3rd quarter. Sean Torres. Prades again will take the handoff. Lowers his shoulders and picks up almost 15 yards on that give. We'll take it to the 40 of Vincent.
Prades, who came into the game with 1,030 yards rushing, has over 150 yards tonight, adding to his total as the season comes down to the regular season finale here at Cal Jones Field in the battle for the border with Vincent Memorial and Calexico.
But more importantly, they're going to have the seeding meetings tomorrow, and they're going to find out.
Tomorrow or Sunday?
Is it now Sunday? I
thought
it was
Sunday.
Always, okay.
I think there's some Saturday games.
Okay, because of the shortage of referees, that makes a lot of sense. Prades again. Left side, another 1st down and a pickup of 14, and it's all Zeus Prades. It was just doing the same thing three times in a row.
That was number 29, Omar Vera, 5'9", 160 pounds, trying to tackle the 6', 185-pound Prades. But Prades runs like he's heavier, John, like he's about 210, 220. He runs hard, solid, and he's got that knee action that makes it difficult to tackle him.
And he's fast, he's quick.
All those superlatives and
hyperboles. Sean Torres out of the shotgun on a 1st and 10 at the 29 going in. You guessed it, Vic. Zeus Prades with a 4-yard pickup will take it to the 25. But the seeding meetings are important because you find out who you're going to play, but your coach has got to be there, or the athletic director got to be there to advocate for the team. But they look at the strength of schedule. They look at the ratings. A lot of things happen at those seeding meetings. And we had Joe Hines, I believe, on VSN North as he was interviewed by Will Torres tonight. He's the CIF commissioner. Prades lowers his shoulder, picks up 9. I'm sorry, picks up about 7. It looked like a 9-yard pickup. He'll take it inside the 20 to the 19.
Well, that was number 23, Juan Carlos Sainz, that provided the hit on Prades, but who got the best of it on that exchange? Anyway, Prades advancing close to another first down. It'll be 3rd and short at the 19-yard line of the Vincent Memorial Scots. Calexico going left to right on your screen. The Scots defending the eastern goal right in front of the beautiful STEM building here that was recently opened this last school year at Central High School.
And there's nothing there as the Bulldogs keep the ball on the ground. A loss of a couple there by Zeus Prades. It'll bring up a 4th down and about 3 yards.
You know, John, if we can get a camera shot later on of the STEM building, you know, something unique here in the Imperial Valley, multi-story facilities along with Calexico's multi-story 2 new buildings in Calexico.
Calexico will have a STEM building there, but what's going to happen to the high school is they're going to remove those old wings there's 3 old wings there. You have your home ec that was done, and then you've got with the old chemistry lab and that first row wings by the cafeteria. Those are all going to be raised for a STEM building in the middle of campus.
And STEM standing for science, technology, engineering, and math. And so a lot of emphasis on that training and preparation as we're going into a different type of workforce preparation.
Absolutely, and there's also a STEAM, which includes art, that A in the acronym. And you're absolutely right, Vic. We're looking at high technology in the field for making our students college and career ready.
Well, let's talk politics and policy. Is the state and the Department of Education supporting academics and the fine arts, the arts, etc., as part of the curriculum with funding?
Well, not as much as they should, and that's always the first programs that get cut are the art classes, and I'm speaking in the lower levels, but they're on the dashboard. You have to have certain things, and one of those is college and career readiness. And so what the state of California and a lot of high schools are going in that direction. And there's CTEs, there's monies available for that. So, yeah, that is a big part of high school now.
Well, John, we see Juan Carlos Sainz, an integral part of the Scott defense, being helped off the field. He's a hard-hitting linebacker, only 5'6", 160 pounds, making every pound count. But looks like he was shaken up on that play. He'll have to come out and sit out at least one play as he's helped to the sidelines.
And that's reversed. That Marco Esquer will get the first down. He's speeding down the near sideline. Touchdown, Calexico on a 4th and 3 yards. A little razzle-dazzle in the backfield gets Marco Esquer to the house.
And the last Scot to have a chance was Andre Estrella, 5'9", 155 pounds, diving desperately inside the 10-yard, and all he came up with were the heels and shoelaces of Esquer as Esquer high steps it into the end zone, extending the Bulldog lead to 33-7 with 2:09 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
And now they're going to go for 2 with Sean Torres and Andres Castro in the backfield. Canchola in the slot to the right. Esquer to the left. And looking for a receiver. Esquer is open. Does he have control?
He does.
Yes. The 2-point conversion is good. So with 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, 35-7, Calexico. And we'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network. Back here in live action with 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Luis Martinez will be kicking off to the Scots with Andre Rodriguez and Armando Apodaca back to receive. It'll go towards Andre Rodriguez, maybe go outside, and they'll take it at the 35. So an update on the injured player for Vincent. Apparently he was in the back pretty hard.
Right, it was sophomore inside linebacker Juan Carlos Sáenz. Apparently he was hit in the rib cage, but it was more the wind being knocked out of him. So CIF protocol, he has to sit out at least one play while the Vincent offense is taking the field. He'll have that opportunity to catch his breath, get ready to go out there and give the final 2 minutes of this quarter and the remaining 12 minutes in the fourth quarter to help Vincent get back into this ball game. But right now, the ball's in Jacobo Elias's hands, and the Vincent brass is hoping that he can make something happen here in the final 14 minutes of play.
Elias scrambling. He always gets out of there and is brought down, but not after he picks up 8 or 9 yards. Couldn't find anybody, so he came out of the pocket.
That was number 52, Diego Gurola, number 18, Carlos Hernandez, along with Troy Marin, finally able to lasso and bring down Elias, but not until he picks up 8 yards on that play. Make it 9 yards, it'll be 2nd and 1.
The ball at the 44.
You got Rodolfo Nelson, number 9, in motion.
Penalty flags. And intercepted as Troy Marin will pick up that pass and take it down the sideline for another Calexico touchdown. As he was going down, Jacobo Elias threw the ball, not knowing who was going to get it, and Troy Marin alertly picked it up and pick 6.
And that was by design, John, as the quarterback spy in this defensive scheme for Calexico for tonight's game to go against Jacobo Elias. He was right there shadowing or mirroring, if you will, all the movements and actions of Jacobo, and Jacobo seemed to throw it right directly to him, and the talented Marin and the explosiveness of Marin was able to catch the Scott offense by surprise as he raced untouched into the end zone.
There was a penalty, an illegal shift on the Scots. The Bulldogs declined the penalty, get the touchdown, and now they're going for the point after.
So once again, soccer style and soccer member Luis Martinez, who was highlighted by soccer coach Javier Bernal during our halftime interview, will try once again. Now it all has to be coordinated. The quick snap, the holder, number 11, Rodriguez, and the kick.
And this one is good. And so, ladies and gentlemen, with 1:18 to go in the third quarter, Calexico 42, Vincent 7. We'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
7 for the Scots.
Back to live action here at Cal Jones Field, where Troy Marin picked up 6 points on an interception and took it all the way back from about the 35-yard line.
Another spectacular play defensively by Troy Marin, who's been tasked with being the quarterback spy throughout the game on Jacobo Elias.
End over end kick, and it'll be fielded by Apodaca. Picks it back up, coming this way at the 20, 25, 30. And brought down from behind, and number 25 for Calexico.
And that number 25 is next to number 26, Damian Hurtado and number 26, Andres Castro. They're shadowing as Apodaca was able to advance the ball after dropping it on the kickoff to the Scott 40-yard line, a return of about 35 yards. So Vincent has good field position, but they find themselves down by a score of 42-7 with 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Tonight's game is brought to you by RDO on State Route 86 and Imperial. Whether you're seasoned pro in precision ag or just getting started, RDO equipment is what you need for success in the field. By Esqued Realty, your hometown real estate office in Calexico and serving the entire Imperial Valley for 30 years. Go see Mark Esqued at Esqued Realty. Call him at 357-9707. Esqued Realty, the mark of excellence. By Top Notch Barbershop at 317 Wake Avenue for a one-of-a-kind haircut. Fresh fades, always a cutaway at Top Notch Barbershop. Subscribe to our VSN YouTube channel and follow VSN on Instagram. By Arctic Air Conditioning and Heating, we know that having the right people on the job is just as important as choosing the best equipment. Our York-trained professionals provide you with top-quality equipment, skilled installation, and an expert analysis of your comfort needs. Contact Arctic Air and 352-8855. Our friend Donnie Wharton reminds you that when seconds count, you can depend on Reach Medical Transportation Services. And would you like to stay up to date on the latest in Imperial Valley sports coverage? Follow us on Twitter at Valley Sportsnet. So 1st and 10 coming out. Jacobo Elias, shotgun, has time, can bake a cake, but he's now rolling out. Try to be stopped from behind, and he is sacked, and down he goes at the 36.
Well, it took several Bulldogs, number 17 for Calexico.
66 and 18.
Esteban Esqued, 66. I don't think we have a name, do we, for that?
And Carlos Hernandez.
Number 18.
66, probably coming up from the JV. So a loss of 4. Elias, quick pass.
That's number 9, Rodolfo Nelson Jr.
And he'll pick up 12 yards and take it to the 46.
So there's no quit in the Vincent Memorial Scots, John. They're still making this game competitive.
And that'll probably be the last play of the third quarter with a score 42-7. 3 receivers to the left. And he hits Carranza.
And Carranza brought down by number 17, Esteban Esqued. As the clock winds down after 3 quarters of play, Calexico 42, Vincent Memorial 7.
We'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to
Back to live action here, folks, with 12 minutes to go in this season finale. Battle for the border. Calexico's on top, 42-7. I believe Vincent has the ball, and they're down to a 4th and short. They've got to get to midfield from the 49.
Well, you know, the Vincent offense has been explosive all season, John. This is uncharacteristic for them to only have 7 points after 3 quarters of play. But you got to give credit and tribute to the Calexico Bulldog defense. They really prepared for Jacobo Elias and his elite fleet of receivers.
Now he's under center and bringing everybody in tight, except he's got one split to the left, going for that quarterback sneak. And I think he gets it.
Well, he was running against the heart of the Calexico Bulldog defense, and Diego Gurola, Thomas Ibarra, and Carlos Hernandez. But he's able to garner that first down. So with 11:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter, just underway, 15 seconds already off the clock.
Empty backfield, 1st and 10 from midfield. Elias can't find anybody, decides to keep the football. Gets a first down and brought down after he picks up 10 yards plus. So he'll get another first down and take it to the Calexico 40.
You know, some of the Vincent receivers were open, but that ferocious pass rush of the Calexico Bulldog defense and the blitzing linebackers, Elias has to get rid of the ball quickly or take it upon himself to try to run for a first down.
Elias with a crossing route intended for Carranza goes incomplete.
Covering on the play was number 3, ball hawk Andres Ramirez, the senior defensive safety, along with Andre Rivera, 2 key components of the Bulldog pass defense there in the deepest part of the Bulldog secondary. So it'll be a 2nd and 10, the ball at the 40-yard line of Calexico.
So Artie Estrada just scores a touchdown for the Spartans, bringing them closer.
Pass is complete for another
16-13 in the fourth quarter. And that was number 22.
Carranza, Roberto Carranza, a sophomore.
They're bringing it back, though. I guess he was out of bounds maybe upon completion. So a 2nd and 10.
Well, John, Vincent Memorial's going to be a team of the future. The quarterback's only a junior. Their key receivers are sophomores and juniors.
Going deep, left side, Andrew Rivera with the catch.
Pass intended for Armando Apodaca.
Intercepted.
Had a step and the ball slightly underthrown, and from a strong safety position, Andrew Rivera, able to come over like from playing center field and just cut in front of Apodaca to make that interception. Falling to the ground, he didn't have an opportunity to make a return, but Calexico will gladly take the ball over, even though it's deep in their own territory, just to deny the Vincent Memorial Scots an opportunity to score.
And they got it at the 5-yard line, so
it'll be 1st and 95.
1st and 95. On a 42-7 lead here in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes to go in the season finale, this battle for the border. And we have a new quarterback in there. I think that's number 9, Robbie Montejano.
Montejano brought up from the Calexico JV, the son of Carlos Montejano, the grandson of Humbert and Virginia Garcia Montejano.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Jimmy Sanders Incorporated, Architecture and Engineering. A leader in design, development, and delivery, Sanders Incorporated is a proud supporter of Imperial Valley football. And we wish all our Imperial Valley schools a safe and successful season. By the IID, remember what Dippy Duck says, never swim in canals and always conserve energy during peak hours. By Grasso's, an Imperial Valley tradition since 1955. Family owned and operated, located at 1902 West Main Street in El Centro. Grasso's is open Wednesday through Sunday at 5 p.m. Order to go or come in for that fine Italian dining experience. See my good friend Hank Barron and try the double-sided garlic bread. So Calexico with a 1st and 10, 8:44 to go in this football game. Up 42-7 with number 9, Robbie Montejano.
And what a place to start, standing in your own end zone, waiting for the ball to be snapped to you.
And he takes a snap. And he is sacked and gives the Scots a safety.
And so that's 2 points for Vincent Memorial, and more importantly, they'll get the ball back instead of kicking off.
And I believe that was number 56, Marco Gastelum.
Marco Gastelum making that sack for Vincent Memorial.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Imperial Printers. at 430 West Main in El Centro. What can we print for you today, from business cards to yard signs? Call us at 352-1300. By Intercare. When it comes to health care, Intercare is here to help with locations throughout the Imperial Valley. Formerly Clínicas de Salud del Pueblo. Intercare, improving the health and wellness of the community. By the Town Pump Steakhouse in Westmoreland. Call us at 344-3663 for reservations. Come and enjoy a delicious steak and lobster dinner and a Valley tradition for over 50 years. By Marianne Valenzuela Fenley, your State Farm insurance agent in the Imperial Valley. And like a good neighbor, she's located at 528 G Street in Brawley. Call Marianne Valenzuela Fenley at 344-0447 for all your insurance needs. And by Ray Castillo, Supervisor District 5, a proud sponsor of VSN, and would like to remind his constituents and thank them for getting involved in their community. And by the Dom team, for all your real estate needs, give Andrew and Doug a call at 357-8600. The Dom family has been in the Valley since 1908, and for business, residential, and farmland real estate, it's the Dom team. By CR&R Incorporated Environmental Services, with recycling now more important than ever, CR&R Incorporated has developed innovative and recycling reuse programs. CR&R Incorporated, the face of a greener generation. Luis Martinez on the free kick. After the safety goes pretty deep, Apodaca drops it. Done that several times, but makes good on it and takes it to the 45. And helped up by some Bulldogs. So a 1st and 10 for Vincent as they get set with 6 minutes to go, down 42-9 here in the fourth quarter. And we just saw Tarango do a split in the air. That's the line judge over there to the far side. Way to go, Hector Tarango. We got to see that in instant replay. So I'm just kidding. 1st and 10. Elias, fake pump. Pump fake, going deep. Apodaca. He catches the football as he takes it now to the end zone. That's Armando Apodaca. Andrew Rivera bit on it and came up. Apodaca got open and scores. So now 42-15 with 5 minutes to go. Good morale booster for the Scots. And getting set to kick the extra point, Jacobo Elias. Snap set. Excellent kick by Elias. It's now 42-16. And we'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Back to live action here after an Armando Apodaca, Elias to Apodaca touchdown late in this fourth quarter with 3:40 to go and counting. Vincent is kicking off to Calexico, and back to receive is Frankie Loera Rodriguez, number 13.
Jacobo Elias came in with over 2,400 yards passing and 23 touchdown passes. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes tonight to make it 25 for the season, as the Vincent Memorial Scots coming into tonight's game with a 6-2 one-loss record. Onside kick, John. Who's going to get it?
It goes out of bounds, and Jose Guevara with the onside kick.
Ball goes out of bounds.
So Calexico will get the ball back with 3 minutes. Looks like we've got a running clock with 42-16.
I thought it was only used with a 35-point differential.
I guess it was used, and then after Vincent scored, it lessened the difference, but they're still moving that clock.
Okay, so you can't change the rules after that, after both teams agree to use the running clock.
At the 45-yard line, will Calexico start 1st and 10.
Well, it's been a well-officiated game tonight, John. You have to hand it to the Imperial Valley Referees Association, headed by their president, John Seaman.
Yeah, absolutely. And to have that shortage of referees as Andres Castro down the far sideline. He could go all the way. He does. Touchdown, Calexico. No, he was out of bounds.
Well, it would have been a 55-yard touchdown run as the play started at Calexico's 45-yard line. And Castro, with outstanding running ability, able to break a couple of tackles, shake off a few of the defenders, and then it was a foot race all the way inside to the 10-yard line, possibly the 4-yard line, according to Hawkeye John Moreno.
First and goal for Calexico. 1.5 minutes to go. Calexico will get a shot to take it in the end zone one more time. As Robbie Montejano out of the shotgun hands it off to Castro. He'll get a yard. So a 2nd and goal. A little over a minute to go. So this game, not what we expected. We expected a little more from Vincent, but nonetheless, it's still a booster for Calexico, and and they're looking into the CIF playoffs, and so is Vincent, as they're Division 5. I think they're ranked around 3 or 4, depending on what poll you look at.
Well, John, we were anticipating a barn burner here in a close game based off last year's results that was decided in the last 8 seconds of the ball game, which really was the last play of the game on that Jacobo scramble, firing a 40-yard pass to Andre Rodriguez, who caught it at the 1-yard line and pushed out of bounds at the half-yard line on a controversial call to end that game, as we thought it would be a repeat tonight, but Calexico exploding for 42 points offensively and defensively to defeat the Vincent Memorial Scots by a score of 42-16.
And it looks like that will end the football game with Calexico 42, Vincent 16. We'll be back with our final comments after these messages.
16. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Well, back here at our post-game show of the battle for the border with Calexico coming out on top 42-16. Vic, we've got some players of the game that we need to announce, and it's the offensive player of the game brought to you by Burgers and Beer, and the defensive player of the game brought to you by the El Centro PD.
Well, John, it was an outstanding game played on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively for Calexico. Vincent had some highlights with Elias, Juan Carlos Sainz. You had Ricardo Malo as well, Andre Rodriguez. But tonight, with Calexico winning 42-16, the offensive player of the game was running back number 30, who had 200 yards rushing, Zeus Pradis, and the leading defender who played as a quarterback spy on Jacobo Alias. That was number 10, Troy Marin, who had a couple of interceptions and one run back for a touchdown.
So the players of the game tonight, Zeus Pradis on offense and Troy Marin on defense.
And those awards will be $50 gift certificates to Burgers and Beer to honor these players for their efforts tonight. Zeus Pradis, number 30, and Troy Marin, number 10 of the Calexico Bulldogs.
And we'd like to thank some of our sponsors here tonight that made this broadcast possible. The Heart Insurance Center, for over 70 years, Heart Insurance has provided insurance solutions for the residents of Brawley, El Centro, and surrounding areas in California, where we have a heart for insurance. By Jesus Cachu Escobar, proud sponsor of VSN, and like to thank his constituents in District 1 by Johnny's Burritos, with locations in El Centro, Imperial, and Brawley. By Ivy Welding and Mechanical with Fred Baeza, who does industrial welding contractors for geothermal and industrial facilities. Ivy Welding, a proud sponsor of VSN. By Que Pasa Calexico with Jose Alejos and his podcast. Stay tuned for more interesting talks on the Que Pasa Calexico. By Havens Landscaping, for your rock and landscape materials, it's Havens Landscaping at 352-6735. And by the El Centro PD, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. El Centro PD is proud to honor and support all those who have been impacted by breast cancer. I'd like to thank our halftime guest, Javier Bernal, soccer coach and English teacher at Calexico High School, our program director, Will Torres at vsnsports.net, the Valley Sports Network, our technician in the booth, Jose Alejos, our cameraman, Luis Panchito Garcia, and of course the people that make our broadcast possible, and that is our sponsors, Arctic Air, Imperial Valley College, El Centro Police Department, the DOM team, Ojeda Industries, Havens Landscaping and Rock Supply, Intercare, since 1970, formerly Clínicas de Salud del Pueblo, Grassos, Esqued Realty with Mark Esqued, Burgers and Beer with Jaime Honnold, CR&R Incorporated, Environmental Services, Ivy Welding and Mechanical, Fred Baeza, Jesus Cachu Escobar, Supervisor, District 1, Marianne Valenzuela Fenley, State Farm Insurance, Sanders Incorporated, Architecture and Engineering, Reach Medical Response Service, Donnie Wharton, the IID, Top Notch Barbershop, Driscoll since 1975, RDO Equipment, Johnny's Burritos, Heart Insurance, the Town Pump, and Ray Castillo, County Supervisor, District 1. I'd like to remind you to join us next week. We don't know where we're going to be, but we'll be coming to you live from the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night when the Valley Sports Network will travel or will stay at home depending on what game is being played in the first round of CIF playoffs. We're not sure if Central will get a bye or Brawley will get a bye, but we'll see what happens. So we'll get you that information as the week goes on. Again, tonight's final score, Calexico 42, Vincent 16 for Vic Carrillo. This is John Moreno of Bulldog Media bringing you live coverage of Imperial Valley football, saying good night on VSN, the Valley Sports Network.